Hello everyone, welcome back to my astrology channel. I just want to thank everyone for watching, commenting, subscribing to my channel. So thank you very much. I really appreciate all your contribution. Now today's video is about the Virgo full moon that occurs on the 18th of March 2022 at about 27 degrees 39 minutes. Now if you have any planets or angles at this degree, 27 degrees, especially in mutable sign, because Virgo is a mutable sign, then you will feel the effect of this full moon more significantly, more personally. But every one of us will still be feeling the effect of this full moon because we have Virgo somewhere and we have Pisces sign as well somewhere. Now a full moon is a time when the sun and moon are opposite to each other. So the sun is in the sign of Pisces and moon is in the sign of Virgo. That's how it forms a full moon, a sun and moon opposition. Now during a full moon, basically your sense of identity and your emotional side can be clashing, and so there's a need to meet halfway to resolve your any kind of issues or any kind of upheavals or any intensity that is or any intensity in your life during this time. So the full moon is also a time of culmination. It's a time of fulfillment. It's a time of release as well, to let go of anything that is not working, or adjust something that is working or maybe needs adjustment to move to the next step. So this full moon is a great time to look at your health and healing aspect. Now Virgo is about work and health, and Pisces is about healing and your subconscious health, your internal health, your mental health, and Virgo is more to do with the the work, the stress and the tiredness that can come about, fatigue that can come about due to overworking and overextending yourself. Now Virgo and Pisces is the axis of service as well, service to yourself and service to others. So this is definitely a time to find a balance in your overall health, the service that you provide to yourself, to others. So self-care comes into play. So major focus around this full moon is on your health matters and also your work matters, your daily routine and how you go about your daily life. Now this full moon will be opposite Neptune in the sign of Pisces. It's forming an opposition with Neptune. Now Neptune is about imagination, inspiration. It's a transpersonal planet, so it's to do with our higher self. It's to do with connecting with the higher self, the universal love and all that. So this Virgo full moon opposite Neptune in the sign of Pisces, it's a transcendental time. It's a time of your spiritual awakening. It's a time to connect with your inner self, your inner spirit, the soul within you. So there might be a need or desire to connect with the your spiritual side during this time a lot. Now it is an opposition, so there can be some kind of confusion or delusion what path to take and how to approach all these energies. So again, a middle ground is definitely required to be a bit more to have clear boundaries in your life with yourself and others as well, because Neptune can blur the boundary, and with moon opposing it, it can have effect on your emotional self. So just be mindful not to have unrealistic desires or being too overly idealistic about matters in life, and let things take over your life or you. So definitely clear boundaries is most definitely required. Now this full moon is also going to form a very harmonious aspect with Pluto. So Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn. It's almost towards the end of the sign of Capricorn. It's about at 27 degrees. Now this full moon will be trining Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, because both are earth energy. Virgo and Capricorn are earth energy, so planets in these signs trine each other. Now trining is a very harmonious, free-flowing, collaborative, supportive, just very easygoing, beneficial kind of aspect. So it brings a lot of emotional intensity, drive to move forward, drive to make your career happen, drive to make your life organized, your work and health matters organized during this time. If there are any kind of conflicts or issues in life arising during this time, you'll be able to talk it out and you'll be able to discuss it more on emotional level as well. So the trine aspect is kind of very intense kind of energy. Emotionally you'll feel very intense, but with the trine aspect you will be able to resolve it from a place where you want a good solution, a creative solution, a positive solution. So even though you will feel your emotions very strongly with this trine aspect to Pluto, you will be able to express them more openly around this time. Now the other aspect that this full moon is making is with the true node, the north node in the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus and Virgo is again earth sign, so the aspect is quite harmonious with the full moon in Virgo and Taurus north node in Taurus is a trining aspect. Now during this time, you'll feel emotionally connected and focused with your life path, whatever you're trying to achieve, the soul path, the destiny, the path that you want to walk on. You'll feel more emotionally connected, and hence you will be able to focus and gather your energy better to make those things happen, be able to progress on your life path. So it's a very harmonious kind of energy with the moon on the north node. So overall, during this Virgo full moon on the 18th of March, I think it's a good time. It's a helpful time to make movements, to progress. Emotionally, you might feel intense and even maybe chaotic and confusing at times, but if you channel your energy constructively, positively, there is a very good chance of good outcomes, fulfilling outcomes, or clarity around whatever you're trying to do, and hence you can make adjustments to get better results or move forward, move upwards, unstuck yourself, release yourself from any negative stuck energy, and move forward. So definitely this Virgo full moon throws light on your work and health matters, so there's a very good chance to be emotionally focused and make progress during this time. Now I'll cover all the 12 zodiac signs and how this Virgo full moon is going to affect each of the signs. Aries, for you, the Virgo full moon occurs in your 6th house. Now the sun will be in the 12th house in the sign of Pisces, so there's 6th and 12th house axis that is in spotlight during this Virgo full moon on the 18th of March. So this means there's a lot of focus on your health, your well-being, your work, your daily routine, just what you do on a daily basis. So there's a need during this Virgo full moon, Aries, to take a break, to have time to yourself, to take care of your health, because 12th house is the axis of healing, and also taking a break, retreating to recoup your batteries, to recharge your batteries, to recoup your energy. So definitely during this Virgo full moon, if you feel overworked, definitely it's time to take a break, Aries. Now this full moon is going to trine Pluto in the sign of Capricorn and your 10th house of career. So there's a lot of emotional intensity around this time where your work and your career matters are concerned, and it is a positive, harmonious aspect, but there could be a tendency to overwork because you're feeling very positive, hopeful, and you want to achieve those goals that you have, career goals that you have in your life. There's a good possibility for progress, upward movement, climbing up the ladder. So there will be a very strong emotional energy, inner energy, focus to go after whatever you want in life. Now this full moon is also going to trine Neptune in your 12th house, so there could be a situation where you're feeling idealistic, and this can cause confusion or misunderstanding with other people. So it's definitely important to look at things from a realistic point of view rather than idealistic point of view during this time, especially where your work, your structure, your life, what you do on a daily basis, just daily routine is concerned. So don't extend yourself, don't over promise during this time, because it may not be quite helpful for you. It may not be helpful for your health, your overall well-being. Now this full moon is going to trine north node in the sign of Taurus in your 2nd house, which is about your finances. So there's a lot of emotional focus, there's a lot of just intensity. So the emotions that you're feeling and the purpose that you have, the life path, whatever you want to achieve during this time it's very well aligned. So your moon and your north node are trining, so it's a very harmonious, well aligned kind of aspect. So you are very emotionally focused on achieving this financial freedom, this growth in your personal finance. You want to make things happen, and because Jupiter is also in the 12th house, so anything that you're working behind the scene, maybe this is a good time to bring it out, show it to the world, share your creative ideas and inspiration, whatever that is around this Virgo full moon, because soon it will be Aries season in a couple of days after the Virgo full moon, and you will be able to really bring out whatever you are working on, and you will see some kind of outcome, progressive outcome, and more clarity around this time, so you can take the next steps of growth, Aries, going forward. Taurus, for you, the Virgo full moon occurs in your 5th house. Now 5th house is the house of joy. It's a house of romance, love, creative project, artistic self-expression, children. So during this Virgo full moon, there's going to be a lot of spotlight on these matters. Now Sun will be in the sign of Pisces in your 11th house, which is about social circles, about collaboration, group project, your associates, peers, team that you work with. So there's a need for balance between your 5th house, which is yourself and your time, your expression, and the group expression, which is the 11th house matter. So you may get some kind of news regarding a creative project around this full moon, you know, something that you were working upon comes to fruition, or a project that you probably were waiting to sign on, you know, the news comes and, you know, you get that project. So definitely there's a lot of energy around self-expression, your talents, your hobbies, you know, your skills and capability, what you're made of, all that is definitely shining through, and there's a lot of spotlight on these matters. Now this full moon will be trining Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, which is your 9th house. Now 9th house is to do with exploration, learning, traveling. So this full moon is going to give you this emotional energy, the inner desire, the inner energy to pursue these matters. Maybe you want to explore new territories, new, you know, opportunities, you know, things that you have not done before. So definitely this full moon is going to bring clarity around making progress, you know, or taking on these new opportunity, especially if it takes you traveling, or, you know, learn something new that you have not done before, you know, learn a new subject or something like that. Now this full moon is also going to be opposite Neptune, the sign of Pisces, and Pisces is again your 11th house. So again there's a need to balance your creative self, your self-expression, and, you know, your collective yourself, which your presence in the group is required. So your teamwork, your need to collaborate with other people and, you know, express yourself, is there's a need for balance in there, because with the opposition of Moon and Neptune, there can be misunderstanding, confusion, or just idealism around what you can offer or what you can receive from other people. So there is definitely a need to balance the energies out around what you're trying to achieve in terms of group activity, collaborations, new opportunities, and new territories that you're trying to explore. Now this new moon is also going to form a trine aspect with North Node in your sign, in your 1st house, in the sign of Taurus. So this is a really good, fantastic time to get some kind of culmination, release, or some information for making adjustments, or, you know, some kind of fulfillment regarding whatever you have been working upon on yourself, on your self-image, the way you project yourself. So your emotions and whatever you're trying to achieve, your life path, is very well aligned during this full moon in Virgo on the 18th of March. So it's a great time to use that internal energy, inner focus, emotional energy, as well the intensity of this full moon, to make progress on the, you know, the destiny, the purpose, whatever you're trying to work, you know, the life purpose around this time. Especially this is going to be focused a lot around yourself, your creativity, your career, your future opportunities, collaboration, and all that. So this Virgo full moon is definitely time for some kind of culmination or news or fulfillment or some kind of release, definitely in these matters. So Taurus, during this Virgo full moon, utilize your personal power, take up new possibilities, new opportunities, and just dream big. Geminis, for you the Virgo full moon occurs in your 4th house. Now that's where your Virgo sign sits. So there's a lot of spotlight on the 4th house matter, which is to do with your home and family environment and your emotional and physical foundation as well. So there's a lot of changes occurring, culmination, release, fulfillment coming to you around your home matters, around your emotional self. Now Sun will be in the sign of Pisces in your 10th house during this time. So the adjustments made at home will help you achieve or shine in your career matters, most definitely around this time. So there's a need for balance between your home and your career matters. So you could be moving out of your current living conditions, you know, your home, wherever you live, due to professional reason. You know, maybe there is a job or career opportunity somewhere else and you need to make that move. So there's a release from your current home situation, your current address can come about. So in fact, moving away from your home or your current situation will help you strengthen your emotional side and ground you even more, because now you have found a balance between your emotional self and, you know, your career matters and all that during this time. Now this full moon is going to trine Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn is your 8th house. Now 8th house is about your shared values, shared finances, social finance. It's a house of your intimacy, you know, mutually benefiting financial situations, the house of your taxes, inheritance, gifts, and all that, you know, all kind of social shared kind of finance situation. So when full moon trines with Pluto in your 8th house, there's going to be a strong inner force, inner energy to, you know, achieve whatever you want to achieve, where your shared finance is concerned, where building resources together is concerned, where collaborating together for financially mutually benefiting situations are concerned. So definitely it's a good harmonious aspect with Virgo full moon in your 4th house and, you know, 8th house axis coming together. So your home environment and your, you know, relationship with other people where your finances are concerned is on it is quite well aligned during this time. Now this full moon in Virgo is also going to be opposite Neptune in the sign of Pisces, again in your 10th house. So there can be misunderstanding, confusion, or idealism around your home or career matters. Maybe the progress that you're trying to make, Geminis, is met with some kind of unclear boundaries, unrealistic expectations. So there can be confusion and misunderstanding in your home and career matters as well during this time. So the best way to move forward is to, you know, be constructive, be realistic, and you know, don't lead yourself from a dreamy kind of a fantasy kind of space. It's very important to be a little bit more realistic, because Virgo is about setting clear boundaries. It's about having a structure, and Pisces can blur the boundaries and, you know, have no boundaries at all. So that's where you need to find a middle ground, and don't let other people make your life chaotic, you know, your emotional self chaotic around this time. So definitely the other energies are very harmonious, so you'll be able to overall be able to find a balance between your home and careers definitely during this time. Now this full moon in Virgo is also going to trine North Node in the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus is your 12th house. Now when moon forms a very harmonious aspect with the North Node, what happens is that you're emotionally set from emotion, you know, inner emotional self is very well aligned with whatever you're trying to achieve, you know, your life purpose, your goals, whatever that is. And with North Node in your 12th house, there's a need for spiritual advancement. There's a need for, you know, seeing things beyond the physical plane and understanding things. Now you're feeling quite stable, grounded during this time, so you'll be able to make those changes or understanding or create the awareness, especially on subconscious level as well, or understand your subconscious motivation around this time. That's what you're trying to achieve, Gemini, during this time. You want some kind of spiritual growth, spiritual understanding of your own self and, you know, things around you. So definitely this Virgo full moon is going to create that kind of environment that will help you, you know, create some boundaries around your subconscious self to understand, to create awareness, you know, and move forward. And so it's a good time also to take care of your health, your well-being, your mental health. You just, you know, retreat, get away if things get overwhelming in your career matters or your home matters, or, you know, with other people. So definitely a great time to take a break if you need to, and focus on your health and structures in your life, you know, so that you have clear boundaries to move forward and, you know, to bring growth and progress in your life, Geminis. Cancer, for you the Virgo full moon occurs in your 3rd house. Now 3rd house is the house of communication, information sharing, networking, you know, your siblings, your local area, community, your environment, your neighborhood, and just yourself as well, you know, the learning, the knowledge, the skills, the capabilities that you have. So a full moon in Virgo in your 3rd house brings a lot of spotlight on all these matters. Now Sun is in the sign of Pisces in your 9th house, which is about the larger picture. It's about the bigger picture. 3rd house is more to do with your local concentrated picture, you know, your own self, your own perspective, your own opinion, whereas 9th house is more to do with, you know, the larger perspective, other people's opinion, and, you know, other people's perspective as well. Besides other things, it's also to do with higher learning, traveling, you know, exploring and expanding. So with full moon in your 3rd house, there's a focus on your knowledge, your learning, and to expand them, you know, to explore more opportunities or have some structure in it, or to use it to, you know, for your benefit, to be more useful to other people, because Virgo is about usefulness. And whatever knowledge you have, whatever your skills you have, whatever capabilities you have, Cancer, is quite valuable. So it's a good idea to, you know, help other people with that information. And also, if you think you need more knowledge or something you want to learn, this is a good time to think about those things as well, because Virgo full moon will bring more clarity in terms of how you communicate, how you share information, especially in your daily life, in your work environment, and just how you go about, you know, in your daily routine schedules and your just daily lifestyle. So definitely a great time to bring a focus on communication, your skills and capabilities around this time where your daily routine and daily life is concerned. Now this full moon in Virgo is going to trine Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. Now Capricorn is your opposite sign. It's the 7th house, which is a house of relationship. So during this time, the conversations that you're having, you know, is quite well aligned with your relationship angle. So you're able to communicate your emotional feeling, you know, intense emotional feeling, whatever you're feeling from within, the intense energy, you're able to communicate in your relationship, in one-to-one interaction with other people. So this is a very good time to, you know, speak your mind, and, you know, whatever you want to share, you know, emotional side as well, whatever you're feeling in your heart, Cancer, it's a good time to share those you know, information with others and have honest conversation. If there's anything that you think is not growing, is stuck, and, you know, it can be, you know, it can be made into something better, definitely a great time to communicate those to other people. Now this full moon is also going to be opposite Neptune in the sign of Pisces, again in your 9th house. So there could be a misunderstanding or confusion while you're communicating. Maybe there is a need to focus on other people's perspective as well, rather than just focusing on your own opinion. So there would be some kind of culmination or release, or some kind of awareness regarding what other people expect of you, what other people think, and, you know, what other people's opinion is around this time. Now Neptune is an energy that creates blurriness, that can create confusion, delusion as well. So be mindful while you're communicating. You're communicating from a realistic space and not idealistic and fantasy kind of space. So just be mindful, whatever you're trying to share, you know, the environment that you're trying to create for yourself is based on realism, not idealism. Now this full moon is also going to trine North Node in the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus is your 11th house, which is about collaboration, a social circle, group activities, you know, professional gains, your hopes and wishes. So whatever you're trying to achieve in your you know, in collaborative arrangement, you know, your work environment, your professional environment, whatever you're trying to achieve professionally in a group scenario, this Virgo full moon is going to bring that clarity and will align you emotionally to achieve that, whatever that purpose, that life path that you want to walk on, where your 11th house matter is concerned. It's quite a harmonious aspect, so it's definitely going to get you emotionally focused to, you know, take that path, make that movement, progress in your 11th house matter. So you'll have some kind of clarity, awareness, or if there's change needs to be made, you'll be able to make some adjustment regarding how you communicate. Maybe there's something, the way you communicate, that is needs changing to gain from, you know, collaborations, or approach these collaboration. Maybe you need to think differently, you know, mindset, the outlook, because third house to do with your mindset as well, your outlook, how you, what your mindset is. So maybe some kind of awareness, clarity will come about during this Virgo full moon to structure your thinking, to have boundaries so that you're able to make progress, Cancer. Leos, for you, the Virgo full moon occurs in your 2nd house. Now, 2nd house is to do with your personal finances, to do with your material gains, the money that you make by yourself, you know, it's about self-reliance, it's about your self-worth as well. So when a full moon occurs in your 2nd house, there's a spotlight on all these matters. So you can expect some kind of news coming your way regarding your personal finance or financial matters, or you could get some kind of release or relief or awareness regarding your personal finance, so that you can make progress, move forward, because you have better understanding of your personal financial situations. Now Sun is in the sign of Pisces in your 8th house during this full moon, so there might be some kind of change or culmination coming about in your relationship with other people where your personal finance is concerned. Maybe some kind of awareness, maybe something you were working upon comes to fruition, or just generally some kind of awareness regarding other people people's money in your life, you know, or shared finances. And going forward, this will help you to navigate your life a bit better and, you know, make more positive decisions and movement during this time. Now, this Virgo full moon is going to trine Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is your 6th house, Leos, which is a house of work and health, which is a natural Virgo energy. Now, with the full moon in the 2nd house trining with the 6th house energy, you will be emotionally connected, driven, feel very strong regarding your you know, work matters, your health matters. Something will come to clarity, maybe around your structure, how you structure your day, how you see, how you work, what you do will come to clarity. You know, your job matters or your health matters. Something will come to clarity that will connect you more and will make you more committed, more intensely committed to whatever you're doing in terms of your work and health matters. Maybe a new way of approaching work, maybe a new way of doing things that can take the load off you if you're too overly burdened by your daily life. So definitely some kind of culmination, some kind of awareness is definitely possible during this time, during this Virgo full moon on the 18th of March. Now, this Virgo full moon will be opposite Neptune in the sign of Pisces, which is again 8th house. So Leos, it's important to lead from a more of a realistic space rather than idealistic space where your finances is concerned. Your own finances and shared finances both are concerned, because full moon in your 2nd house is creating a lot of spotlight on your personal finance, but there's Neptune in your 8th house, which can create confusion, idealism, fantasy around your shared finances. So it's very important to approach these matters from you know, a fully aware state and, you know, more realistic kind of space. Otherwise, it can lead to upheaval or chaos in your, or crisis in your in your financial matter. Now, this full moon is also going to trine North Node in your 10th house in the sign of Taurus. Now, this is a really helpful, supportive, harmonious aspect, because full moon aspecting North Node is a great time to connect yourself emotionally and focus more, you know, bring all your energy, gather all your energy together, your emotional energy as well, and really give it to your career matters, your life direction that you are set on. So definitely a great time to align yourself fully with the purpose in life, whatever life purpose that you have, that you are working on, that you are going on. So definitely a great time, Leos, overall to focus on your money making capabilities by, you know, organizing your daily life better, and, you know, have a more realistic approach where shared finances is concerned, and really give your full to your life direction, your career matters, and fully embrace the direction, the growth that you're seeking, Leos. Virgos, for you, the Virgo full moon on the 18th of March is in your sign, so in your 1st house. So there's a lot of focus on you, Virgos, during this full moon. So it's all about your personal projection, your personal identity, your priorities, your image, how you project yourself, you know, the life path, the goals and ambitions that you have. It's all about you during this full moon. Now, the sun will be in the sign of Pisces in your 7th house. So there's a potential for a relationship to be more harmonious during this time. Now, it is an opposing energy, so there's a need to find a middle ground to make progress between your sense of self, because that's where a lot of focus is, and a lot of awareness, clarity, culmination, release, relief as well as coming, where your sense of self is concerned. Maybe the work that you have been doing, or the, you know, the energies that you were bringing in your life were over stressing you until now, but this full moon is going to give you an awareness to where to, you know, spend your energy, and how to, you know, streamline your energy to get the best out for yourself, and also keep a hold on your well-being, your health, and your just, you know, overall self. Now, relationship angle is also very much a focus for you, Virgos, during this time, because not just the sun, there's Neptune and Jupiter also there. So there's a lot of focus on relationship, but with all this combined energy of 7th house Pisces, the relationship is improving, and, you know, it's getting better, and that has a good positive effect on your sense of self as well, because you're able to balance both the energies, how you work with others, how you collaborate with others, you know, in business or personal relationship, both. Now, this full moon is going to trine Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. Pluto and Capricorn is your 5th house, so it's about your self-expression, it's about your creative self, you know, your creative projects, it's about your fun side, you know, the need to find happiness, recreational time, you know, just to have a fun time basically. It's also the house of your children. So this full moon trining with Pluto is a really positive energy, because it will bring this intense, forceful, strong inner power, inner energy to, you know, make things happen for yourself. You know, whatever you want in your life, whatever you desire in terms of your 5th house matter, you'll be very much on it, very much driven to make those things happen during this time. Now this full moon is obviously opposite. Now this full moon is opposite the 7th house Neptune in sign of Pisces, so there could be sometimes a misunderstanding when dealing with relationships. So it's very important to lead from a realistic space, a more, you know, not from a fantasy kind of space, a realistic, more you know, practical kind of space, so that you can move things forward and progress in relationship. Now this full moon will also be trining North Node in the sign of Taurus, which will be your 9th house. Now 9th house is about exploring, learning, traveling, you know, trying out new things, taking up new opportunities, new possibilities, and interacting with people, you know, you have not interacted before. So this Virgo full moon is very well aligned with your purpose in life during this time. So whatever you're trying to achieve, Virgos, you're emotionally connected with that, you're emotionally engaged with that purpose, you're emotionally aligned, you're emotionally focused as well to achieve that life purpose, whatever you want to achieve in your 9th house matter especially. So if there's any kind of learning, higher education, or traveling needs you have, you know, to break away from your mundane life, whatever you're doing, this is a great time to approach that. Now mundane life, daily duties may not even interest you that much during this time, so you're very keen to travel, to explore, you know, and just, you know, expand your horizon during this time. And this full moon in your 1st house, in your house of self, is going to give that clarity, awareness, how you can approach these matters in your life, these energy, how you can bring these energies in your life, Virgo. So overall, it's a really good time to focus on yourself, your well-being, you know, take up new possibilities, dream big, and you know, try out new opportunities, learn, you know, renew yourself and express yourself, creative side, you know, whatever creative side. So overall, all this is going to create a lot of fulfillment and, you know, upward movement for you, Virgos. Libras, for you, the full moon in Virgo occurs in your 12th house. Now 12th house is to do with retreating, it's to do with rejuvenating, recharging your battery. It's about self-care, it's about your well-being, it's about your healing. It's also about your subconscious self, you know, your self-awareness, you know, creating that awareness around your motivation. So that's where the focus is, that's where the full moon is during this Virgo full moon on 18th of March. So you will have some kind of clarity, or, you know, culmination or release, some kind of awareness around your sense of well-being, your sense of healing, you know, self-care. So there will be some kind of movement, new developments in your daily life, your daily routine, that will help you, you know, recover from, you know, if you have been feeling stressed or overworked, or, you know, if you feel the day-to-day, you know, routine, your structure of life is not there, it's all out of order, it's all chaotic, you'll feel a little bit more order following this Virgo full moon, because you'll have a sense of better clarity, more awareness regarding your own personal motivation, what is it you're trying to achieve in you know, going forward, Libras. So definitely there will be a lot of spotlight and changes coming about in your daily life structure. If you have been experiencing any kind of delays in your work or health matters or anything that you want to achieve, you know, going forward, you will definitely have some kind of clarity around this time. Now this Virgo full moon is trining Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. Now Capricorn is your 4th house, so this Virgo full moon is very harmoniously connected with this Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, your 4th house. So your family matters, your home matters, all these are spotlighted and very harmoniously affected during this time. Now you will feel this strong inner force, your energy, you know, intense energy to, you know, achieve whatever you want to achieve in your home life. You know, your home matters. Whatever you want, whatever you're going after, whatever your desires are, you're emotionally connected and you're feeling that emotional focus and energy, you know, the drive to, the intense emotional drive to achieve and go after whatever you want to achieve in your home matters. Now, if you want to move away, you want to relocate, or you're moving away in terms of, you know, buying a new house, you know, changing your home, or just redecorating your home, you will be definitely very motivated and driven to achieve you know, a better home environment for yourself during this time. Now, this full moon is opposite Neptune in the sign of Pisces, again in your 6th house. So again, there's a lot of focus of the 12th and 6th house comes into play, and your work, health, daily routine, your healing, your awareness, self-awareness, the need to take a break, the need to take care of your, you know, self, your well-being, all these comes into play. Now, it's a good idea to lead from a realistic space where your daily life is concerned, your day-to-day duties and, you know, work is concerned. So don't get overworked, don't overcommit, don't overextend yourself, because that can have an effect on your well-being, on your mental health, on your just overall health. So definitely a good time to be a little bit more inspired, imaginative and creative regarding your daily duties, but just be mindful not to lead from a fantasy kind of space, and have realistic goals where your life is concerned, your daily life, your life structure, work, health, all that is concerned. Now, this full moon is also going to trine North Node in the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus is your 8th house, Libra. So your shared finances comes into focus and shared values comes into focus. So this full moon is very much positively aligned with your purpose, whatever you're trying to achieve during this time, because full moon in the sign of Virgo and the North Node in the sign of Taurus are trining aspects. It's a harmonious aspect, so you're very much aligned to whatever you want to achieve. You're emotionally connected, you're emotionally engaged, you're emotionally focused to, you know, make things move forward, you know, progress in your financial matters, you know, to improve your finances, to build resources together, whether it's in a union or with somebody, you know, if you're collaborating, cooperating with somebody to build resources, or with your, you know, intimate, close relationship, whether it's spouse or whomever you're expecting to create this resources with, there is going to be a positive outcome, because you're very much emotionally driven, focused to make movements in these matters. So Libras, overall, this is a really good time to focus on your health, your structures in life, your daily duties, your routine, you know, restructure your day. If things are not working and things is confusing, or, you know, the lines are not drawn, the boundaries are blurred, this is a good time to, you know, restructure your daily life, and you will definitely find harmony in your home and, you know, with close people, close ties in your life, and your finances will also improve, and the building resources together, you know, the joint finances and all that is going to definitely grow and improve if you are a little bit more aligned with yourself in terms of what you're doing on a daily basis. And if there are any kind of delays in your daily life, if there's a news you're waiting for, an information message, anything you're waiting for, there's definitely a good chance for some kind of positive movement in that matter as well, Libras. Scorpios, for you, the Virgo full moon occurs in your 11th house. Now, 11th house is to do with social circle, your group projects, your collaborators, collaborations, associates, your acquaintances, your professional environment, your professional gains, your hopes and wishes. So when a full moon occurs in your 11th house, the network, you know, the social network, your social setting, your you know, group projects, all that can get, is spotlighted during this time and can get a boost. So there can be some kind of changes occurring in your social circle, your social contacts, and you know, some kind of culmination, some kind of fulfillment or release can come about in terms of what you're doing on a group level. Now, Sun is in the sign of Pisces in your 5th house, so there could be some kind of good news or changes in terms of your you know, your creative projects as well, your personal project, your solo projects. Also, it's a house of romance and children. So there could be some kind of change or news or new development in these areas as well, so Scorpios. So definitely it's a good time to connect with people, other people, even new encounters, not just what you're currently connected with, but new people in your life, new social circle, new social contact, networking, all that can bring growth, abundance, prosperity your way going forward, Scorpios. Now this full moon is going to form a trine aspect with Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, which is your third house. Now third house is to do with communication, it's to do with you know, short trips, business trips, contracts, negotiation, signing a deal and all that. So with the trining aspect with full moon on your Pluto in your third house, there will be a strong inner force energy to make some movement in these matters. You're definitely going after whatever you want, whatever you desire, and you're very strongly, emotionally, intensely connected with making movements in terms of where your third house matter is concerned, which is to do by using networking, communicating, sharing information and ideas for growth purpose, for bringing some kind of growth in your social circle, in your collaborations and all. Now this full moon is going to be opposite Neptune in the sign of Pisces, again in your fifth house. So there's again a lot of energy around your creativity and your self, your solar projects and your group project. So it's a good idea to lead from a realistic space and not a fantasy kind of space, and have practical goals and make realistic moves to achieve whatever you want to achieve, where your creative project, group project, yourself, you know, your own talents and capabilities are concerned, because there can be misunderstanding or miscommunication where your social circle or people, other people are concerned, you know, your social setting, you know, in your network and all that. Now this full moon is going to form a trine aspect with North Node in the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus is your opposite sign, so it's the house of relationship, your seventh house. Now this full moon is very positively aligned with this North Node, so you will be feeling very well aligned, you know, emotionally aligned, energetically aligned with your purpose, whatever you're trying to achieve going forward, you know. So the focus, the emotional focus is there, you're fully engaged, you're emotionally engaged, so your focus is entirely on your life purpose, you're fully engaged, you're emotionally engaged to pursue the life goals, you know, and move forward, move upwards. So Scorpios, this Virgo full moon is definitely a time for awareness, release from old patterns, stuck energy, especially recently if you had felt in your close ties, relationship, home environment and all that tension that you might have felt that may have caused you stress and anxiety. This Virgo full moon is going to bring new development, change in terms of how you see your social circle, how you know, interact with people, you know, how you network. So you're definitely very much on, you know, moving forward now. You are you know, you want to bring change in your life, you want to grow. So definitely this full moon is going to give you that awareness, understanding and clarity, and some new development to move forward with, you know, where your collaboration, your dealings, your communication, your solar project and all that is concerned. Sagittarius, for you the Virgo full moon occurs in your 10th house. Now 10th house is to do with your career, your calling, your life path, your reputation and all that. Now full moon in 10th house spotlights all your career matters. So you could experience more clarity around your career matters, what you're trying to achieve, your life path. There could be a culmination, there could be a job change, a new development, some kind of change coming about in your career matters during this time, or maybe your perspective is changing around your career matters, you're approaching things differently going forward. So this is a good time to you know, adjust things. If there needs any adjustment to be made, this is a good time to make those changes, because you'll have better understanding and more awareness where you want to go from now onwards. Now the full moon in the 10th house is going to influence the 4th house as well, because that's where the sun is. Now your home situation and living condition may be going through changes as well because of this 10th and 4th house axis, and changes brought about during this time can have a positive effect on you, Sagittarius. So it's a great time to balance energies with your career matters and home matters around this time, and find a middle ground if there is any need to adjust things or balance things out during this time. Now this full moon is going to trine Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, which is your second house. Now second house is second house to do with personal finance. So during this time, Sagittarius, you're very much strongly connected emotionally driven, emotionally intensely driven as well. You know, your focus, your energy, your inner energy is very much on, you know, achieving whatever you want to achieve, whatever your whatever your desires are, where your personal finance is concerned, you know, your material gains are concerned. You're very much focused, emotionally connected with your career matters and your personal finance. So you so some kind of changes, new development in your career matters or your life path can bring a change in your personal finance as well during this time. Now Sagittarius, you have been experiencing a lot of delays where your work is concerned, where, you know, work life, you know, all these things, that just the daily life is concerned. You have been experiencing delays. Now this Virgo full moon is going to bring clarity and some new development, some changes in these matters, and you will feel that things are moving forward now, things are moving on now from what it was until now. Now this full moon is going to be opposite Neptune in the sign of Pisces as well, which is your 4th house. So there's a need to be realistic and lead from a practical space when you're trying to balance your career and home matters, because any kind of fantasy or unrealistic kind of expectation can cause a kind of confusion or chaos in your, you know, while as you're balancing your career and home matters. So definitely lead from a realistic space, Sagittarius. Now this full moon is also going to trine North Node in the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus is your 6th house. Again, your work matter comes into play, your daily life, your daily routine, your health and all that. So this full moon in the 10th house is forming a very harmonious aspect with your North Node. Now this means that you are emotionally aligned with what you're trying to achieve, what your life purpose is, what your focus is during this time, and the focus for you is to move forward in your work matters, in your job matters, better work conditions, better job condition, maybe a new job. So all these things, you're very emotionally connected and you are willing to make changes in careers as well to get the best job that you can, which can enhance your personal finance and also, you know, bring positive changes in your home environment. So definitely overall Sagittarius, this is a good time, this Virgo full moon, to look at your career in a renewed way and, you know, a little bit be more connected with your life purpose in terms of work and daily life, the structures of the life that you want to build around this time. And all this is going to have positive effect in your home environment and your personal finance as well going forward, Sagittarius. Capricorn, for you the Virgo full moon occurs in your 9th house. Now 9th house is to do with traveling, learning, exploring, expanding, you know, taking on those new opportunities, new possibilities, and interacting with people or the, you know, territories that you have not interacted before, you have not connected with before. So this full moon will create more awareness, some kind of new development, change or fulfillment around your 9th house matter. Now Sun is in the sign of Pisces in your 3rd house, so maybe you were waiting for some kind of information, some kind of message, news regarding possibility to take on these new opportunities to travel or, you know, to move abroad or, you know, just learn new things. So this full moon is going to bring some kind of clarity, some fulfillment, some culmination around opportunities for growth and expansion to Capricorns, most definitely. So if you were thinking of starting a new business or a side hustle or increasing your finances and all that, you will get some kind of positive news around this time. Now Capricorns, over the last few years you have been thinking a lot about money matters because there was some kind of difficult situation around your money matters, but going forward Capricorns, it's a good idea to focus on new opportunities, new territories, think about starting a new business maybe, or something on the side that can really help you, free you up, you know, in terms of worrying about money and, you know, being stuck in old energies where finances are concerned. It's also a good time to really focus on your vision, because 9th house is to do with your vision, your possibilities, the futuristic vision, the, you know, what you want to do in future. Be a little bit more focused on that rather than worrying about you know, the finances that can deplete as a result of you constantly worrying about your current financial situation. So be a bit more futuristic, more visionary about your goals, and you know, take on new possibilities, new opportunities of traveling, learning, and just, you know, expanding your horizon. And this Virgo full moon is going to bring some kind of new development and awareness to take up these opportunities going forward, definitely, Capricorn. Now this full moon is trining Pluto in the sign of Capricorn and in your first house, so you are emotionally engaged during this time as well to take on these future opportunities to, you know, create a new sense of self-image, a more enhanced, powerful, intense, and you're also very much on going after what you want during this time. So there is no barriers during this time. You're emotionally very engaged, you're emotionally very focused and energetic as well to take on you know, any kind of enhancement or development that comes your way with new opportunities, new territories that will enhance your sense of self-image as well. Now this full moon is opposite Neptune in the sign of Pisces, again in your third house, so just be careful with any kind of misunderstanding, or you know, from your communication, the way you're communicating, or maybe you have some kind of unrealistic expectations from, you know, close ties, or because third house is to do with, you know, close ties as well. So if something is restricting you, negative energies from, you know, exploring whatever you want to explore, this full moon is definitely going to give you a little bit more awareness. So with this Neptune energy, it's very important to lead from a realistic space so that there are no misunderstanding going forward. Now this full moon is also going to trine North Node in the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus is your fifth house. Now fifth house is about solo expression. It's about you know, starting a business. It's about you know, it's about projecting yourself creatively using your talents, capabilities, know how to, you know, make some movement, forward movement, happy movements. Now this is also house of children and, you know, love and romance. So with North Node in your fifth house in a very harmonious aspect with this full moon, there's going to be definitely some kind of positive news or new development coming your way in terms of opportunities that will help you project or, you know, display your you know, talents in a more renewed way, more positive, and you will definitely be more emotionally aligned to chase these opportunities and, you know, follow your life path. You're definitely very focused, emotionally engaged in terms of you're very much in touch with your emotional self and your life path during this time. So overall, Capricorn, it's a great time to explore, you know, dream big, and, you know, take up those new possibilities, new opportunities. Think beyond your mundane life, think about the big vision, the big picture, and, you know, start something new, you know, take a risk, start something new, take a risk, trust your capabilities, your talents, and, you know, ultimately this Virgo full moon is going to give you opportunity to explore and expand, Capricorn. Aquarius, for you, the Virgo full moon occurs in your 8th house. Now 8th house is to do with shared finances, shared resources, shared values, social finances, intimacy, and all that. Now when the full moon occurs in your 8th house of shared value, it's time to ask yourself what you're worth. What is your worth? And where finances is concerned, there's a lot of spotlight in your money matters, because Sun will be in the second house of personal finance. So there's a 8th house and second house aspect of personal finance and shared finance coming into play. Now if you have been experiencing any kind of you know, upheaval in terms of finances, or, you know, the finances were not or you were not on top of your finances lately, this Virgo full moon is going to bring more clarity, awareness, culmination, new development, changes, or a need for adjustment in terms of your finances, how you see it as well. Now Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn in your 12th house and is aspected by this full moon in a very harmonious way. So there's a need for self-reflection, because you're very much emotionally connected, subconsciously connected to what you want, what you desire, and that is a lot to do with your finances, Aquarius, because there's so much emphasis in your 2nd house and 8th house as well during this time. So you have a strong inner force, inner energy to achieve whatever you want, whatever you desire going forward. And it's got a lot to do with your financial matters. Now this full moon will be opposite Neptune in your second house in the sign of Pisces. Now Neptune can bring a blurriness, a confusion, the boundaries can be blurred. Maybe you have unrealistic expectations, or just the way you manage your finances is a bit chaotic. So this full moon is going to bring more awareness regarding how to handle money as well, and have realistic expectation in regards to your personal finance and your shared finance as well. Now if you have any kind of impractical approach to your finances, or if you have some kind of fantasy idealistic kind of approach to your finances, this Virgo full moon is asking you to create clear boundaries where finances is concerned, and that way you can grow your finances as well if you know what you are worth, and you know how to ask for it as well, and how to create your wealth, how to build resources by yourself and together when you know your true worth, but have a realistic approach to it. Then you will know what you can achieve. Now this full moon in the sign of Virgo is also going to trine North Node in the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus is your fourth house, which is your home and family matters. Now this full moon is very well aligned with your North Node in the fourth house, and it's so you're emotionally very aligned and very focused on improving your home matters, you're improving your home conditions, your relationship with family members, because wherever North Node goes, that's where your focus is, that's where the growth needs to take place. So with this full moon aspecting North Node, you are in touch with your emotions, and the focus is a lot on your home matters, because you want to grow and develop, enhance and bring beneficial positive energy in your home matters. So Aquarius, overall this is really a good time to focus on your wealth, on your money making capabilities, your finances, and have a realistic approach towards these matters, and also do a bit of self-reflection, introspection in how you can change your ways if there is anything that needs to be changed, if there's any old pattern, stuck pattern that needs to be released in order to bring in change, growth and forward movement. Then this is a great time to reflect on these matters as well, and release any negative or old energy or old way of thinking, perceiving, how you perceive wealth, how you perceive finances. And this is going to definitely bring a renewed energy, positive energy in your home matters, and will bring growth and movement, positive movement, whatever you want, you're trying to achieve in your home environment, in your emotional and physical foundation as well, Aquarius. Pisces, for you the Virgo full moon occurs in your 7th house. Now Virgo is your opposite sign, so it's opposite to you in your 7th house of relationship. Now with Virgo full moon in your 7th house, there's a good chance for new development or deepening of your current relationship, whatever existing relationship that you have. You'll have more awareness, clarity around what you are expecting, what your expectations are, what other people's expectations are of you, and there's a chance, there's an opportunity to deepen that relationship or have new development in your relationship, create new relationship as well going forward. So this Virgo full moon is going to really bring this renewed kind of culminating and releasing yourself from old stuck energy and seeing a relationship in a new way, in a different way, in a more clear way, illuminated way, because full moon brings this illumination in your relationship house. Now Sun is in the sign of Pisces in your 1st house, so there is a need for self-love as well, and finding a balance between a relationship with yourself and others at the end of the day. So definitely lead from a personal space as well to develop your own sense of self and balance it with deepening your relationship and bringing new energies where your relationship is concerned, seeing it in a more positive, renewed, illuminated way. Now this full moon is going to trine Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, which is your 11th house, which is about social circle. So this moon with Pluto is going to bring in this strong inner force and energy in you to go after whatever you want in terms of collaboration, social circle, new encounters and all that. So there's going to be a lot of intense kind of energy in that, and because of this clarity in terms of how you interact with other people, the one-to-one interaction, whether it's personal or business, this is going to only enhance whatever you're trying to achieve, where your collaboration, professional gains, hopes and wishes, you know, all those things are concerned. All the 11th house matter. Now the full moon is also going to be opposite Neptune in the sign of Pisces, again in your first house. So there's again the need to balance the, you know, relationship with yourself and others, because if balance is not achieved, then there can be you know, a kind of confusion or delusion regarding, or deception in terms of how you're dealing with relationship with others and yourself. And it's also good to lead from a realistic space, more, you know, a practical space, rather than, you know, living in a fantasy land, Pisces. Now this full moon is also going to trine North Node in the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus is your third house, which is about communication, networking, you know, sharing information. It's about mingling, you know, business trips. It's about your skills and capabilities, connecting with people in your local environment. So this full moon is fully aligned, very positively aligned with your life purpose during this time, which is the third house matter. That's where North Node is. So you're definitely focused, emotionally engaged, emotionally connected to go after whatever you desire, to go after the growth that you seek in Pisces during this time. So definitely overall it's a fantastic time, Pisces, to focus on relationship, bring in new energy, deepen the relationship, and this will be achieved through awareness, self-reflection regarding your you know, relationship. What are other people's expectations, and how do you, you know, balance all these energies out? And also with the social circle, because 11th house is about collaboration, so that's also encounters, that's also relationship with, you know, a larger group of people. So that also is very well aligned during this time. And third house is to do with your close ties. So there's a lot of relationship kind of energy around this Virgo full moon, and you will have some more clarity, awareness, how to go forward, how to deal with these energies, most definitely, Pisces. Thank you very much for watching my Virgo full moon video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can use the information to live more consciously and make, you know, more aware decisions, and, you know, whatever the direction you're going on, because this Virgo full moon is kind of brings this focus on your work and health matters, structures in life, boundaries in life, and there's a chance for new development, changes, culmination, release, fulfillment around this time in all these matters. So definitely great time to look at your, wherever your Virgo sign sits and Pisces sign sits, and find a balance between both the energies. So thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely day. Thank you.